Hello, today I'm going to explain about the nano testing with a set of questions. So before that, let me share my screen and so these are the questions. So first question is what is software testing? So software testing means it means so if the application has been developed by the development and it is our responsibility to make sure the run application smooth without any defect. And also it need to be meets requirements requirements as well as the product means a business. And uh, what second question is what is difference between verification and validation? So commonly verification means it is a process oriented. It confirms the product is built correctly uh, based on the requirements. Okay, first we need to evaluate the requirements and need to be make sure whether whether uh, it is built based on the requirements. And validation means it confirms the right part is built. Likewise, you know, it is also they have the another name is called dynamic testing. For verification, it's a static testing. For validation, it's a dynamic testing. For validation, it's necessary to meet the user needs. How to make sure that it is working fine with the in user perspective. And third question is what is difference between quality assurance and quality control? So both are process oriented only. Quality assurance is focused on the preventing defects by improving the development testing process. So when we're doing the testing, so we need to be improve the strategy on the testing cases. I need to be improve the testing process only. And quality control means it's a product oriented focus on the focus on detecting defects in the final product. So it's called quality control. And fourth question is CLC. So commonly we all know software development life cycle. It is first used to design, develop, and test and deployment as well as a support. So these are the phases of the SDLC. And the question is SDLC. It means software testing life cycle. In SDLC, it includes requirement analysis, test planning, and test case design, test environment, and test execution and test closure. So these are the phases are included in the SDLC. And then sister question is static testing, sorry, dynamic testing. And dynamic testing involves execute the code to check behavior of the software. Um, it means it helps validate the output against the expected results. And what is a static testing? That's some of the question. Static testing is done without execution of code. So it needs to be executed with the like a common user. So that doesn't aware of about the code, right? So it has to be executed without knowing about the code. Without knowledge of, without executing the code. Okay. It involves reviewing documents or code or requirement to identify the defects early. So this both testing is necessary. And then eighth question is what is white box testing? White box testing means it is a testing based on the uh, internal logic or code structure of the software. The tester need be it's for white box testing. The tester needs that the tester necessarily need the coding knowledge. And then ninth question is black box testing. So the testing is based on the input and output without knowing the internal logic as well as internal code. So it is focused only on the functional behavior only. So the tester it is not need the tester need to be know about the internal logic code which are the development right for the application run process. Uh, the code it is not needed to know the programming language is not needed, and also the tester doesn't need the logical structure which has been implemented inside that application. So it is called black box testing. And then the question is what is positive and negative testing? Positive testings, it means that we know, right? First, positive testing means if you give the valid input, so that output only we need to expect, right? So it is if you give the valid inputs, we also getting that valid output. So it is called positive testing. And negative testing means testing system behavior with invalid and unexpected inputs. So this is a negative testing. And what is gray box testing? On the question. Actually, in my knowledge, gray box testing is a combination of white and black box testing. The tester, it might be know some internal working, but this is from the user's perspective. Okay. And then solve the question. What is test strategy? Uh, in my perspective, it need to be have high level document that outline the testing approach, objective, resource, and schedule and scope of the entire project. Uh, Testing. And 13th question, what is a test plan? Test plan is nothing but it have the detailed information about the testing scenarios, testing approach, resource, and schedule. Likewise, the when we going to test the application, we need to be make sure with the proper documentation and proper testigation and a proper implement everything. It is called a test plan in my perspective. And what is the question? What is test scenario? A test scenario. It's also like a high level description about what test, like representing a functionality or feature to be tested. And in the question, what is test case? Sorry, already detailed information. It is here. Let me check. This recording. Yeah, I'm coming to test case. Yeah, 15th question. Uh, yeah, detailed set of steps conditions. Like uh, a detailed step of set of condition and expected results used to be valid in specific feature or functionality. So we know that it is called it is also like a positive testing. A positive, yeah, positive testing only. So we know which we giving the input that expected output needs to become. So uh, it need to be described and it need to be documented for the test case. And 16th question is what is test bed? It's also like the environment, including the hardware and software and network configuration in which tests are executed. Uh, and 17th question is what is test suite? Test suite is a collection of test cases that are integrated to execute together. Uh, and then 18th question is what is test data? A test data means the data which are used to execute the testing, right? Suppose if you need to like if we need to execute like if you need to test a case like with the login credential for the OTP means so or in this perspective that there we are using some data, right? It is called test data. So the data can be shared by the development team which they have used while while developing the product. So that only we need to be used, I think so. That is called a test data. And what is defect life cycle? Yeah, defect means normally if we test the application, if we find any bug means it is bug. That it is called a defect. In our life cycle, we have for defect we have separate life cycle. So one it's like in new, assigned, and open and fixed, ready, tester, and closer or reopen closed. So these all the life cycle. So 20th question. What is smoke and sanity testing? Yeah, smoke testing. Yeah, basic test to ensure critical functionality work after build. It's called a smoke testing. Like it is a basic test. Once the application has been built, after the but sanity testing means Uh, it is mainly focused on the specific functionalities, which is important for the application. So that is called sanity testing. And what is exit and entry criteria? Entry criteria means the condition that's necessary to meet the beginning of the testing. It means like uh, normally if you want if they had the developer has developed the suppose it's like a banking related applications. First, you need to log into the credential site. So, in my perspective, that is an entry criteria. That is a if you enter the valid inputs, it's necessary to log in, right? It's need to be navigated to the next level page. So, in my perspective, that is a entry level criteria, and exit criteria means uh, that condition that must be end with the end testing. And question number 22, what is blocker? Yeah, blocker means a defect that blocks for the testing are developed. The testing cannot be proceed until it is resolved. Like like I already said, right? If we want to be logging on the banking related applications, first we need to be logging the once we enter the credential, it need to be navigate to the next level testing, right? Next level page, right? So likewise, we need to be if the defect also like same cause only, and some unresolved defect out there. So we need to be resolved. Then only we can be proceed further. What is regression testing? Yeah. Regression testing means normally if the application has been built and it's been run smooth. By defect, due to some defect, it's need to be again that application has to be moved to the development team. So might be they will include some new codes. Okay, due to the new codes, that the existing functionality is not to be that existing functionality may not be defect. So we have to make sure for that. So check the existing functionality. And then 24th, what is retesting? Retesting means t- re-executing failed test case after defects have been fixed and confirm the fix. That means re-executing test which already one. So if suppose if you execute the test case that is failed, after the defect that is failed, okay. After the defect has been rectified and is resolved, so after we executing that testing is again it is called retesting. And what is monkey and ADOC, ADOC testing? Monkey testing is a random testing without any predefined test case. So it is a random test case which can be performed by the common users like any user perspective only. Ad hoc testing means informational testing without planning or documentation. It's also informal testing without planning and without documentation. They have their test application. And what is the difference between severity and priority? Severity, it impacts impact of the defect on functionality. But priority means like it need to be we need to be priority means it's the priority to suppose if the issue means you need to be on prayer basis you need to fix the application, right? So it is called urgency to fix a defect. And 27th question is what is defect priority? Um, defect priority means indicates how soon a defect should be fixed based on the business needs. So in defect priority, in priority we have the four four categories. So I'll explain about later regarding the defect priority, the priority, and that is what is a defect severity. Also, as already said, it indicates a series of the defects and impact of the application. It gives only the information, but priority is a process of fix the defect. So severity. Severity is only the series of the impact only. So coming to the 29th questions. Give an example. Low priority. Sphere to low. Okay, fine. So in low priority, in low severity, it's an for low severity. It's called type 1 in help documentation. Some typo error. So it will not be affect the further process. And then low priority and high severity. Low priority and severity means like a crash occurs on rarely used features. And a high priority and low severity means misspelled company name or home page. So we can take example as for high priority and low severity. And high priority and high severity means applies a crash on login. So as already said, login thing is a main thing, right? So it is called high priority and high severity. And then coming to the third question, 13th question, explain the requirement and traceability of matrix, yeah, or ATM. ATM. Uh, ATM, so ATM is a document that maps the trace user requirements with the test case to ensure the coverage and helps identify missing functions during the testing. So it is like a document. So like we can trace the user requirements to the test case, and also to coverage helps identifying the missing functionality during the testing. So requirement traceability matrix is a must while we are performing the testing. I hope I'm done with the manual testing parts. So if I did any mistakes, so I'll if there's any questions, Smith, please uh, give me a suggestion or so let me correct it.